Have you ever wondered why so many common practices, like birthdays, can have meanings that go unnoticed? It seems innocent, but what if these rituals hide something darker? Too often, we follow traditions without question, driven by what society teaches us is normal. However, there is a surprising biblical truth behind celebrations like birthdays, and it can completely change the way you view these occasions. If you have ever felt uneasy about participating in certain celebrations, or if you are seeking a deeper understanding of the truth, this Bible study will open your eyes to what lies behind customs that many practice without question. Here, you will find answers and discover a perspective that will illuminate your faith journey. Have you ever stopped to think that something as common as a birthday can have a much deeper and more mysterious side? We celebrate, blow out candles, and make wishes, but why? Where did this tradition come from? For many people, birthdays are just happy times to eat cake and get together with family. But what if I told you that this date has a much darker meaning than you might imagine? Let's talk about something that few people know. The biggest holiday for those who follow satanic beliefs is their birthday. This is because it places the person at the center of everything, almost like a god unto themselves. In this study, we will delve into the origins and occult practices behind birthdays and understand how they can even go against biblical teachings. After all, why do we follow traditions without even questioning them? Could it be that, by celebrating without thinking, we are ignoring important warnings? By the end, you will discover an unexpected connection between this celebration and a spiritual battle that perhaps no one has told you about before. And the best part, we will explore a powerful alternative, so that you can replace this tradition with something that really makes sense and brings peace to your life. Stay with me and let's unravel this hidden truth together. Just imagine, every year, on your birthday, you are the center of attention. It seems simple and even fun, right? But the idea of being the center goes far beyond a cake and presents. Over time, this celebration has come to have a very deep meaning, which places the self as the most important figure, as if, for one day, each of us were the god of our lives. But does this make sense with what the Bible teaches? When we look at the scriptures, we see a very different message: a life of humility, love for others, and, above all, worship of God. So, where do birthdays fit into this? Why do we blow out candles? Why do we make wishes? These little traditions can be just fun, or they can carry a symbolism that no one tells us. In this study, we will open our eyes to this question, examine what we really celebrate and what this act reveals about who or what we worship. Let's understand together this mysterious connection between birthdays and spirituality. And in the end, I promise you that you will not only see birthday parties in a new light, but you will also have an alternative way to celebrate your life in a way that will bring you true peace and meaning. Let's imagine that we are at a birthday party in ancient times. It is not like the parties we have today, with cake and balloons. In fact, it was a celebration full of rituals. Instead of just singing "Happy Birthday," people made sacrifices and asked for protection from the gods, almost as a form of exchange. They believed that by honoring the gods, they would gain in return luck, protection, and success for the coming year. In Rome, for example, the birthdays of emperors were true spectacles. Just imagine, parades in the streets, gladiator fights, and many sacrifices, all to show the power of the emperor and his connection with the gods. These celebrations reminded everyone that the emperor was chosen and protected by divine forces. But over time, the Romans began to celebrate the birthdays of everyone, not just the emperors. However, even for the common citizen, birthdays continued to be spiritual rituals, as they believed that each person had a genius, a kind of spiritual guardian who protected and guided their life. When a person had a birthday, it was as if they were celebrating this genius and asking for its protection for the future. It was a bit like having an invisible friend who needed to be honored in order to maintain good luck. So, it wasn't just the person who was being celebrated, but this spiritual guardian. But what does the Bible teach us about this? Unlike these ancient traditions, it invites us to trust in one God, without seeking protection or power from other beings or forces. The verse in Exodus 20 verse 3 says, "I am the Lord your God. You shall have no other gods before me." This reminds us that all our trust and gratitude should be directed to God, and not to mysterious forces or entities that supposedly guide destiny. In ancient times, people looked to the stars to know about the future. In Babylon, for example, astrologers were like advisors to the kingdom, and they used the position of the stars to predict a person's destiny, especially on the day of their birth. They believed that the stars influenced each person's fortune and life path. But the Bible invites us to put all our trust in the Creator of the stars, not in the stars themselves. So as we think about birthday celebrations today, it's interesting to consider whether we're still unwittingly following some of these ancient traditions. Perhaps something that seems like a simple celebration has much deeper roots that call us to think about where we truly place our trust. Imagine a farmer planting seeds. He doesn't know if it will rain or if the harvest will be good, so he looks up at the sky, observing the clouds and stars, hoping that they will reveal the future to him. This is more or less how ancient civilizations saw the sky, as a map that could tell him what was going to happen. In Babylon, for example, looking at the stars was not just a curiosity, it was something very serious. Astrologers studied the positions of the stars to try to discover people's destiny. They believed that the stars could predict whether someone would be lucky or unlucky, rich or poor. For them, the date of birth of a person, or even a king, could tell a lot about that person's future. And on birthdays, they would consult the stars to see if they would have protection and success for the coming year. Now, imagine that you live in Babylon and it is the king's birthday. What happens? He not only celebrates another year of life, but he also meets with the astrologers. They look at the sky, interpret the alignment of the stars, and tell the king whether he will have a good year or whether he should be careful about something. For them, the fate of an entire kingdom could be written in the stars, and that was no joke. But when we read the Bible, we see that God does not want people to look to the stars or anything else for guidance in their lives. In the book of Deuteronomy, for example, God says that no one should practice divination or magic. He warns us that, instead of trusting in creation, the stars, for example, we should trust in the Creator, that is, in Him. These practices did not only happen in Babylon. In conclusion, we can understand that what we see today as a simple birthday party, full of cake, gifts, and congratulations, once had a much deeper and even mystical meaning in the past. In ancient civilizations such as Babylon, Egypt, and Rome, birthdays were powerful moments, full of rituals and practices that sought protection from spiritual forces or even the intervention of the gods. They were dates that connected the self to something greater, whether in search of divine favor, guidance about the future, or protection against evil. The position of the stars, the blessings of a guardian genie, everything was carefully observed to ensure a year of prosperity. Today, many of these meanings have been forgotten, but it is still worth reflecting on the importance we give to this day. The Bible instructs us not to seek power or protection from invisible forces or the stars, but rather from God, who is the creator of all things and the one who truly cares for us. In Deuteronomy, he reminds us that our faith and trust should be in him and not in other sources. After all, God is the one who has known us since we were born, who guides our lives and knows what we need at each stage. So, how about seeing our birthdays as an opportunity to be thankful? Instead of focusing only on our desires or past traditions, we can make this date a time to thank God for the gift of life, health, opportunities for growth, and for every blessing He grants us. It is a chance to reflect on what we have achieved, what we have learned, and how we can continue to grow in our faith and character. In this way, celebrating a birthday can become more than just a date on the calendar. It can be an occasion to look to the future with hope, trusting that God has a purpose and a plan for each new year that He gives us. By honoring the true Creator and recognizing His hand in our lives, we transform this celebration into something deeper and more meaningful, a true expression of faith and gratitude. May our birthdays, then, be moments of joy and connection with God, reaffirming our trust in Him and renewing our vision for what is to come. If you enjoyed this content and want to continue exploring topics that bring new meaning to traditions and show a biblical perspective on our daily lives, subscribe to the channel. Here, we will learn, reflect, and deepen our understanding together. Click the subscribe button and activate the bell so you don't miss any videos. Let's go on this journey of discovery together.